This program contains graphic material, including offensive language. Viewer discretion is advised.
I thought perhaps the end of days was upon us, but it turned out it was just a disoriented old lady in a champagne-colored Toyota Avalon, crashing into my world like DNB circa 1996.
Oh my goodness, hello! So it looks like my system might be working for the moment. It turns out the problem that has been preventing me from live streaming and that caused all those problems last time is this Chinese-made device.
I was curious as to your commercial that you have on TV. I think it's saying the world isn't flat. I totally took offense to that.
I haven't changed. I'm still a flat earther.
There is no hope for us, and I'm sorry. I've never been one to give that type of a message or try to spread that. Maybe I'll get over it, guys. But I just went through torment and hell, and it's giving me nightmares. There's no one to help us. Everyone's covering it up, and I just can't take it anymore, guys. I cannot take the episodes anymore. Saga!
David 136, suspect is still in my vehicle.
There she is.
Come here now!
Get on the ground. Now we do got on a stolen vehicle for sure. All right, stand up. Anybody got a cage? She's wiring.
Apparently so.
His car is right there. You just stole a police car. You stole a police car in front of 3 police officers. I've seen some stupid stuff, but my gosh. And you hit a car with it?
I was going to jail. Something that I did not do.
You just stole a police car.
Now I'm going to jail for something I did.
Well, there we go.
I do take accountability for my actions.
Did you steal a police car?
You know what?
Did you?
Give me an attorney.
Answer the question.
Give me an attorney. How
We
about
saw
that?
you do it.
No, you didn't see me do it.
I did.
He did.
I saw their bodies tossed skyward, like ragdolls thrown into the air by the late great Andre the Giant. I don't know. They appeared to be weightless, hitting zero-G like the fearless crew of a forgotten Apollo mission, whose only objective was to obtain a beef and cheddar classic and return home to Kathleen Quinlan safe before sundown. I don't know.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
Every once in a while, even the rule of 2 has to come down to 1. We'll be covering this and much more today. And I got a special guest. The Blind Jedi is joining me today. Alrighty. That, man, I love that track. I love that track.
That track is amazing.
Yeah, yes, sir. Anyway, I guess I'll stop. No, let's let this run.
Let it play. Yeah, you gotta let it play. Gotta let it play. Can't stop that one, man.
At last we will have revenge.
So did you catch the additions that I made to it?
You're adding in some of the sound bites. The Darth Maul?
The Darth Maul, Maul's saber, and I added the midsection twice. So that's why it's 3 or almost 4 minutes long instead of the 2:10 or whatever it is.
Sweet.
So it's a longer version. Oh, and I added Palpatine at the end. Did you catch that before? Or you haven't listened to it yet, huh? I sent it.
I haven't listened. I didn't know. Well, you sent me the one last night. You sent me a different one?
Yeah, today.
Okay, I have to check that one out.
So at the end of this, you'll hear Palpatine. It actually goes really good. We got an exciting show for you guys today. It's going to be quite revealing.
Your camera's off, brother.
Shh. I'll get to it. So be it, Jedi. There. You happy?
Sure. Always happy, man. I'm always happy-go-lucky. As far as everybody understands and knows.
Oh, and I took out the I am Obi-Wan. I didn't like that.
Yeah, it didn't fit. The Imperial March didn't really fit with the Obi-Wan thing.
No. He's not even Obi-Wan. What is he talking about?
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
I'm gonna go silent for a minute and get my.
Oh, it's almost over. You better hurry.
Get my screen reader to the chat.
Oh, gotcha.
Come, my apprentice. Learn to use the dark side of the Force.
There it is. Welcome, everybody. This is Theory of a Blind Man. And I got a special announcement to get to today, but I'm actually have Jason here talk about his experience kind of along the same lines, having to do with his old brand name, we'll call it that. And then we'll go into mine and show why it is I'm doing what I'm doing. And what people need to realize is the online world is not like the physical business world, where you can have soft exits or departures or dissolution of agreements or whatever you may have. Online, it's a lot more sticky. A lot of more.
You said sticky.
You said sticky. So, yeah. So as some of you may know, Jason here, aka Independently Blind, aka the Blind Jedi, aka Knight.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Man with many personalities, I guess. I'm doing great, dude. Ready to shed some light on just how some of this stuff works and how good people make mistakes. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. And before the show, you mentioned something that for some reason I didn't do. But that's basically like getting a context of who we're dealing with.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
A big thing. And I'm going to be a little more vigilant for myself on that.
You and I both.
Yeah. So Yeah, why don't you go ahead and let's talk about Sir Knight and how you got into this, the current beef, I guess you could call it. Not really
Yeah,
beef, but
yeah. I mean, I guess it's somewhat of a beef, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a kind of a weird situation, and I'm always trying to take enough steps back to be real about the situation, and own my part in it. Because a lot of times when we get offended, it's not that we're right because we're the ones being offended. It just means that we have a part to play in everything that happens in our own lives, and we got to take accountability for our own personal actions in the situation
right.
that led to that offense. So for me, I started my Raider channel back in 2013, late 2013. Started talking free agency. Man, I was new to the scene. I had no idea what I was doing technology wise. I finally figured out how to load YouTube up on my phone and make an account proper and all that kind of good stuff, and just started hitting record and just putting up these really lame ass videos, dude, that were just, but they were informative. And it didn't take long for people to overlook the lack of technology I was using, but just kind of just were hanging on to the words that I was saying. And it was the very first time ever that I realized that I had a voice that would be heard. And it was kind of a cool feeling. But being blind, here we go with the blind woe is me act. Here we go. I found myself wanting to learn, but lacked the confidence to do so. Me today versus me back then is like, man, it's crazy when I looking at my setup right now and how I'm running like 3 or 4 different things right now just to be a guest on your show, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually not even using some of the things I could use today because it's more of a serious type event going on here. But so anyway, long story short, I went on. I got to the point where I felt my growth was going to be hindered by my lack of technology, my lack of, and this has a lot to play into it, right? So I decided I was going to rebrand myself. I was going from Knight of the Shield. That's what I started out on YouTube to be. And I was kind of got my audience involved into what I was doing. I was about 3,000 subscribers at the time. And they all started to contribute. I say, hey, send me logos, send me whatever you got. And everybody just started pouring in. It was pretty cool, man. So ended up with Night Live. The first show I ran was Thursday Night Live, but it was Thursday KNIGHT Live. And that's how I started. And one of my first guests on Thursday Night Live became my partner. And out of respect, I'll keep names out of it. I mean, I guess I could use his screen name. It doesn't matter. You know, he came on as the Raider Pirate. And he had won basically it wasn't a contest or anything, but he's the one that made the logo that I was like tight, man. He put the lightsabers in it and everything was cool. So I, as to pay respect forward, I said, come on the show, talk Raider football with me. So he came on and we had good chemistry and it flowed really well. So at the end I was like, hey dude, I'm really looking to change the brand here. And I really like the radio style. It fits my personality as far as being blind. And he's like, well, I got a lot of ideas, dude. I edit videos, I make graphics. I could take this. If you want to do this, you know, think about it. But, you know, let's do more of a ESPN style show. Man, I'm a big hearted guy, dude. And I don't know if I've ever shared this story, but when I went to go get custody of my son back in 96, I had to get psychoanalyzed for child care and all that good stuff. And the psychologist at the end of the day took my side, but she said, Jason, you're too nice. And I was like, what does that even mean? Like, what does that even mean? Like, I couldn't, in my own world, I could not fathom what is too nice, right?
Wow.
But I look at myself today, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm too nice. I have a loving, giving heart, and sometimes that gets me in trouble.
What's the saying? Nice guys finish last.
Absolutely, dude. And as this journey started for me, I had no context on this guy. He made me a logo. I did one show with him. He had a talent I wanted. That's the greed of me there, though. There's the nice guy with greed, right? I wanted to learn video editing. I wanted to learn all this stuff, man. We got cameras, we got microphones, green screens. We were shooting some shows and people were like, what are these guys? Dude, these guys are coming out of left field. We would have production meetings where we were talking about this is where the sports media market is going and we're ahead of the curve. And the fact is, it was true. It was true. And if we would have stuck it out, if it would have been a match made in heaven, we would be the leaders on YouTube right now in Raider content, even over some of these bigger markets, because we were doing it way before anybody was figuring it out, way before StreamYard, way before OBS, dude. We were going live on multiple channels using cell phones and webcams, dude. Like, and it was cheesy, but the idea is we were on two places at one time, running audio weird. We were sending files. He lived in LA, I lived in Fresno. We use this application which crunched my file, which ended up being bad, but it worked, right? I mean, it ruined my video quality, but we were able to video cast live by using headsets and phones and recording our audio on different devices and combining it together. It was crazy, man. I don't want to get too far into it, but it was what we were doing was we revolutionized it before all the software came in, and we were doing it hokey dokey, but it worked. And we blew up. You know, my channel sits at about 7,000. It was at 8. We lost about it was like at 8 something. So we lost close to 1,000 subscribers over the past 3 years. It was a dead channel. It was a dead channel. And I think that he was doing something shady behind him. You know, he bought some subs, I think, and that's what we lost.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I think that's because as the story goes on, I'll tell you that this is how things started to come into light. We were doing a show. We were doing a live show with the phone calls, with the phone system that I still use. You guys have heard it. And we always had great calls. Well, a good friend of mine, I've talked about him a lot. He has a Raider channel. It's one of the largest ones on YouTube. His name is Mikey Raider. He called in. And I've known Mikey. I mean, one of the reasons why I kind of blew up a little bit was because I would do these. Mikey would host these roundtables, and he always wanted me on. He friended me. We're still good friends, right? But at this particular moment, Pirate's attitude changed in the middle of the show, and all of a sudden he just disappeared. I finished the show just like, you know, and I was kind of wondering what was going on. Then all of a sudden I got this Google Hangout conference thing going on, and he has just kind of lost his mind. He's kind of being just obnoxious. Mikey comes in, he goes off on Mikey, puts me in the middle of this. Like, he had this thing for Mikey because of a comment that was left on a video on Mikey's channel months ago, or like over 6 months prior to this meeting. All of a sudden, man, I'm blackballed in the Raider community, dude.
Wow.
And things are just going, and every once in a while he would snap, and he was starting trouble, and he was a good guy with a good heart, but he was an alcoholic. He caused a lot of trouble, and I found myself stuck in the middle of this mess. I went on vacation, came back. We started doing a couple of shows. Someone of the fan base passed away. We started doing this candlelight visual, and we were working directly with the wife, and he had a large Facebook group, and we were accessing it, but we were a part of another Facebook. Long story short, we got screwed in so many different ways. So many people turned their back on us, and he flipped out and caused more drama. I was getting death threats.
Wow.
I finally just went on my own channel and just bowed out, dude.
Yeah.
I bowed out and I disappeared. Speed up a little bit. Back in 2018, I started, the wife was feeling better. We were back at the church. I started popping up some Raider videos just because I miss doing this. This is what I love to do. So I started making some Raider videos. I started picking up some steam. Obviously, it reaches out to me right away. It's going to get the band back together. And I'm just kind of like, he goes, man, I've been sober for 2 years. And he starts going on this whole thing. And I'm like, yeah, we'll think about it. Let's give it a shot. I got on to do a video because you got to be on top when some big news breaks. You want to get the clicks, you want to get the views, you got to come out and make a video. So that's what I did. He starts blowing up my phone saying, oh, I guess it's your own show now, you can't even let me know when you're going on. And I'm just kind of like, dude, like, this is time sensitive. Where you at? Can you go on? No, I'm at work. Okay, then what am I supposed to do? Like, it just got, and it just, at that moment I was like, this is the way I handle it, dude. If you're going to be what's the word? If you're going to become a problem in my life, and I foresee it now, I'm out, dude. I just drop all ties. I blocked them. I cut them off because, like Whistler said, there's just no easy exit from this thing, man. If you're working with somebody, and the bad part was, man, is this something I put my heart and soul in, man? I mean, it has 7,000 subscribers, and I give him credit. He's part of that as well. Minus the 3,356, I think it was when I brought him on, minus that off the 7,000 we got now, he was a part of that. regardless if I want to build up my own ego and people saying I was still the talent, I was still the voice of that channel. I mean, he put a lot of work into it, including the title, The Will to Win. And that's number one that I will always, give credit where credit's due. That was his thing that he came up with.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came back a little over a month ago, I kept announcing, I know he was watching because he was texting me.
Yeah.
Dude, like, this is your opportunity. I kept putting on I kept saying this is night live on the Will to Win broadcast. I kept saying it in front of every show purposely. He didn't respond. He was just like, whatever. So I'm like, okay, then cool. When I got hit up by Franchise, I was like, I'm just going to run the Will to Win because it's a good catchy tag. Obviously he doesn't care. He's not in it.
Mm-hmm.
The minute I announced the Will to Win with Franchise this past Friday night, I got copyrighted. I got attacked. And like I shared with Whistler this weekend, I'm not going to play that game. You know what I mean? There's obviously, see, that's what I'm saying. The only way for me to really just cut it all off and move on with what I like to do and go back to doing what I do that I'm good at. I just got to change. I got to rebrand the whole thing. Screw the Will to Win. I don't need it. I don't need the title. I was Night of Shield before. I was Night Live after. I was Will to Win. I can go back and pick any name I want. People are just listening to me. They don't care about what the title is.
Exactly.
So, and I basically told him so. Like, you want it that bad? It's just a name. I don't need it, bro. Obviously, I don't need it. Franchise didn't say we want the Will to Win. They said, Night, we want you. So right. What difference does it make, right? What difference does it make if it's Will to Win, Night Live, whatever I choose to roll with? So I had to cut ties, dude. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. It's been literally, man, a 4-year headache, a 4-year heartbreak. But I have to own my part in it and saying that I should have got to know the person before I brought him in that deep in my own channel, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I infected it myself. I have to, go back to what that psychologist told me. Jason, you're too nice. Yeah, dude, I am. I trust people too much. We were talking with Joe the other night or last week, and Joe was saying trust is earned, respect, but trust should be earned. And a lot of times I'm willing to trust people too quickly. I got too soft of a heart and be like, oh, he seems like a great guy. Yeah, come on. And next thing you know, I'm like, oh, fuck, how do I get rid of this guy? And that wasn't my first rodeo in the Raider Nation doing that. There's a guy in town that stalks me to this day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude. And he's really bad news. So I'm just like, whew,
Wow.
I've learned my lesson, especially when it comes to the Raider community. I got to tread lightly.
Yeah.
And, but I think I could take those experiences and move. And when I'm moving forward, just make those judgment calls a little differently. But that's pretty much my backstory. We could find out more details in that as you discuss yours and compare situations. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy.
No, it's not. And through the different communities that I've worked in, and Modus is in chat here, and he's part of that community as well. He's a deep dive investigator as well. And we started talking with this guy. I still am unsure of his involvement, but he was working with this guy named David T. And some of you guys will know who he is out there. He's like a level 1 child, blah, 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 offender. Mm-hmm. Really bad dude. So as soon as I found out this, how could I say, Stoner is involved with this guy, I had to cut ties because I did not want that attached to my name whatsoever. Just boom, dropped him like a rock.
Right.
And what was funny, matter of fact, is when that, hardcore Jesus this, Jesus that, I'm a Christian this, I'm a Christian that, but goes to the ghost paranormal channels and spirit box, the weird shit, right? The stuff you wouldn't expect. What's her face? Blind and Chronic,
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
So she's sitting there in that chat, and guess who? Or she's sitting there on that stream, and guess who pops in that chat? Mr. Stoner. I'm like, interesting. Another group I gotta cut off with.
Right.
So when that kind of stuff happens, the best way to do it is to just boom, cut all ties.
Well, it starts messing with your once it starts entering, like filling in the blanks here about my story, right?
Mm.
Once I kept turning the other cheek. I'm not too nice of a guy. Mm-hmm. So that's the theme here. But I would turn the other cheek. But once it starts entering my moral beliefs and my moral code, that's where the problem really becomes a problem, right? Like now I got to make a choice of who I'm going to be and who I'm going to represent.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's what I had to do.
Yeah. It's, oh man. Yeah. It's so, I guess going kind of forward, like, I don't know really where to begin. Like the context, like that really struck me earlier when you said context
Yeah.
of the character. And that is so important. It's so easy to be fooled.
Mm-hmm.
So easy. And I had so much trust because something sounded so good. You know, I had this really good vision of what the past group, Blending the Blind and Sighted, where it was going and how it could have gotten there. And I had some good ideas and good visions for that. Didn't turn out that way. Left and started up the Daily Dose. Same, well, not really the same situation, but
way different, but same guidelines.
Yeah. And for as obvious it is on every live stream how much of a fact checker that I am, you would have to think that eventually if you're hiding something, I'm going to find it. I mean, Modus just said in the chat right now, he is an investigator. These are the people that I work with.
Right.
Or I'm associated with deep down. Like I can always go to these guys. Mr. Frosty, Modus, In Darkness, they're all there.
Yeah.
And so at some point you'd be like, okay, how long can I, what's the word I'm looking for? Stretch it out, not stretch it out, but, you know, drag it out.
Yeah.
Until you get called on your bullshit. And so rather than going through that whole rigmarole like I did last time with the last, not Blending the Blind, but previous groups in the past, take a lesson from my own playbook. You gotta just cut ties.
Kind of sounds like maybe you're a little too nice yourself there, Whistler.
I don't know, chat, what do you guys think? Do you think I'm too nice? What? Put out number one if you think I'm too nice.
A lot of people may not agree because you could be pretty combative and debatable.
Oh, yeah.
I would use the word debate. I don't think, I think people think you come off being combative, but you're not. It's more debate. Let's have a debate. Right. Let's have a talk. Let's talk facts. That's not, to me, that's not being combative. I think it's more about, hey, let's break it down. You tell me what you know. I'll tell you what I know. And if you can change my mind with facts, then I'll listen. And I don't think that makes you an asshole, dude. I just think that that's who you are. But I obviously seen, and I've seen this many times with you already, that I think that's why I'm drawn to you in a certain way, is because I am not going homo, dude. So don't go there, bro. Okay. Because I only fly one way. I don't care if you wear a skirt or not. We're good. But you don't have to worry about that, brother. Trust me. I didn't have any other way to word it. All right. You can fact check that one too. All right. But I could see that your heart, dude. Like that's what I'm talking about when I say you're too nice. Like you have a giving heart, you have a trusting heart, you're out to help people, and sometimes that gets lost in words, and people went, oh, he's good. Yeah, you don't see the other side to Whistler, like everything he does for the blind community, not even just the blind community, just anybody that needs a hand to learn something, to get something. You're the first one there, and so again, I say that because this ain't the first, second, third, fourth, doesn't even sound like fifth time this has happened to you.
Yeah.
You're like me, no pun intended. We just jump in blind. And then when everything comes revealed, we find ourselves like, oh shit, what do we do? And, now we got to get out of here. Now we got to get out of this situation. And that's not easy to do online.
And yeah, it's really hard to when a friendship gets developed. And it's really hard for most people out there to separate friendships and business relationships.
Absolutely.
And when that individual can't separate it themselves for their own life, where their personal life and business life is intertwined, then there is no saying, hey, let's just be friends type of thing. It's not going to happen. Not with if you've got a certain type of past either. You can't be associated. I can't take the risk of my brand being associated with someone like that.
Right.
It'll ruin my channel. So you gotta cut all ties.
Right. I mean, you've already been through it. I think even before this decision you made that, and I had talked to you about it. I think it was 2 or 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if I talked to you prior to that, but I know 2 or 3 days ago, I kind of asked you. I remember before asking you about Theory of a Blind Man, but I asked you 2 or 3 days ago what's going on with basically
Right.
the brand Theory of a Blind Man, because it's still who you are, and it was still being out there, but it wasn't who you were being. If that makes any sense. Like you weren't different in changing that, but like I brought it up to you, and that was just a question, and that's how some of this started to come about.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
and opened the door for conversations, and we were talking, and sharing stories and just kind of understanding what was going on around the situation.
And I got a lot of really good feedback too when I came back here several days ago, and I did a late night live stream, just me, just here. People loved it. Like, oh, this feels like home. Standing said, this feels like home. Even Adine was there, like, oh, it's so much better over here.
Wow.
So, really quick, let me say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
In darkness, of course. Red 5 standing by.
Red 10 standing by.
Red 10 standing by. Red leader. Road
leader.
Anyway, let's see who else. Natasha. Welcome, Natasha. Agent Z%. Hashtag Z%. There we go. Modus. Mr. Frosty's in here. I think he said
Frosty, what's up?
Put down the kids. Of course, Standing is here.
Hi, Standing. Blessings.
Standing.
Yes.
And did I miss anybody? I think
Just in case I missed it. What's up, Modus? What's up? I can't remember if I said hello to you or not. So
I think we have all mods in here. That's awesome.
It's a whole mod show.
Whole mod show. I think. Right on, Frosty. I mean, there's a lot of comments, but they're all kind of chit-chatting back and forth.
Yeah, so I'm jamming through to try to get to the bottom again. Frosty's still down there. I'm still in. There was a different name. Did I miss it? Was there Armando? Did you hear that?
Oh, Armando Valles. That's right.
What's up, Armando?
This guy, he's still in high school. He started a thing called the Blind Advocate.
I seen that, so I kind of know who Armando is. Then I've seen it. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm gonna actually have him on the channel.
Nice.
Either this Saturday or the following Saturday. That's if he's not grounded by his parents. No, just kidding.
Stop
just
it.
Playing. Just playing.
Scare him away before he gets his debut on your channel, man. Come on.
I know, right? But he was asking me about Teespring and accessibility and
Spreadshirt.
Yeah, that's exactly what I told him. Go to Spreadshirt. The cyber stalker. Oh, dude, I got some names for you, Modus. I got some names for you. Oh yeah, Mr. Frosty, we know Modus is real. Definitely legit. He goes way back. Oh, Monograph is still around? I thought he was out at a long time ago. Whoever said what? I don't know, Frosty. Service Day Wishmaster Evil chose. I don't know what that is, Standing. Service Day Wishmaster he will chose. Or you will choose.
What happened? I didn't hear that one.
Service Day. Oh, serve this day. Which mass will you choose?
Who said that one?
She says, oops, move those words around, LOL. So I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to be now.
Who wrote that one?
Standing.
She'll explain.
Don't get messed with Montegraph. Or do you mean mixed with? I know all about Monograph. I don't like. That's why I was kind of like, oh crap. What's his face aired my video on his channel. What was his name? He's out of Oregon. I'll have to remember it later.
Somebody left. I didn't hear who that was. Oh, Frosty's out. So that's probably when he went to go put down the kids.
Nice enough. Oh yeah, Frosty's back in the chat now.
Oh, okay. So I'm still not close, am I?
I will have the finish. I'm gonna have the finished product of something from Frosty. Apparently, I think he's gonna go do video. Oh yeah, he's leaving now. Thanks for the email. Can't talk to IRL people.
Did you get that one by Modus about giving Tasha her wrench?
No. Where's that?
Modus. I'm down at the bottom now, so I don't know if you're down there yet. But Modus says, give Tasha her wrench.
I think only. Wait, can moderators give people wrenches, or is it only manager?
I think Standy might be able to give her one, but
because I think Standing gave Modus a wrench, if I remember correctly.
If you could dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
If you can dodge a ball, you can dodge a rooster.
What?
There we go. Give him Tasha a wrench. I'm ready, says Modus.
Yeah, that's kind of about where I'm at right there.
Wrecking lives to this day. Montegraph is... I can't believe he's still around. It's amazing how online people just... they'll hit it hard for several months. They'll get called on their BS, and then they'll disappear for a couple months.
And they'll come back.
And then they'll come back to a completely new crowd. And it's just like this ever effed up cycle.
That's how the hate spreads, bro.
Yeah. Lives in Colorado. Man, what is his name? Modus operandi. You what? No, you. No, you. No, you. So anyway, yeah, in case you guys didn't really pick up on the message, I will not be working with Daily Dose anymore, or any of those people. The end.
The end.
Full stop.
Back to Theory of a Blind Man.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that, Modus. But
Greatest cyber stalker on the internet is who?
Montegraph.
Okay.
Unless he's calling himself the greatest cyber stalker to
What's
stalk
that?
the bullies.
Who's that?
Modus.
Uh-huh.
Which I could see it that way as well. I mean, Modus can dig up anything on anybody. So anyway, that's pretty much my announcement in a nutshell. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm surprised there aren't some people here. I'm sure they're watching, and that's okay. But this will be it.
Boom. And obviously, I won't be doing it either. I guess I should put that out there.
Wait, but you've got the phone line. You've got the phone system.
Remember, the sound sucks. It's a phone line. Yeah. I wasn't in as deep as you. I just mainly because of my experiences, I wasn't in as deep. But
yeah,
I trust your word, and I know what you have told me, and I'm with you. So, that's the way it goes.
Yeah. And fortunately, anybody can have the information that I have. And it's not, and I'm actually going to adhere to YouTube's community guidelines and not provide names with associated phone numbers and birthdays and criminal records and blah, blah, blah. Because that's considered doxing, and it's actually an arrestable offense. But it's all public records, so anybody can find it.
Well, and again, it goes back to what I said about moral code. And doesn't matter what you believe in, how you believe in it. I mean, everybody has their own moral code, and if you're going to have a moral code, you need to stick to it. So once you get to a certain point where you feel your moral code is in jeopardy, decisions have to be made, and that's kind of where I'm at with the same situation, with all of it too, both my current situation and your, this. Well, I guess it's kind of mine too in its own little way. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't want Jason to follow me too deep in, so I had to get out before he got too sunk in, because he follows me everywhere.
I'm a follower. I ride the coattails of Theory of a Blind Man. Bullshit.
Even though he's got like 7.5K subscribers, I'm like piddling at 3,000.
No, it's all good, man. Just it's all audience and genre, bro. Really.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
if the blind community, I love you guys, but it's hard. It's hard to meet the needs of all the blind people, and I'm just, I could do the norm, right, and just do product reviews and obsessive technology, which I do like to do. Don't get me wrong, but there's so much of it out there.
Yeah, everybody's
so much
got a
of it
review
out
on
there.
everything, and it's just like, how do we make ourselves unique? So
exactly. So we just do what we do.
Yeah. The world through our perspective. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You can do world through the eyes of a blind person, but me as a blind person and Jason as a blind person, even us, we have different perspectives as being blind.
I do a lot of the inspirational stuff. I try to when I find it.
Yeah.
Because that's part of my moral code, part of who I am.
Yeah. Oopsie. Do 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 do.
Which finding that stuff last night, man, was awesome. To all you Star Wars lovers out there, we found some cool beats.
Hell yeah.
And we will make time to bring that back. I'm still just deciding how I want to do it. It's going to come back. Especially now that you watched The Mandalorian, but I bet you haven't watched 7 and 8 yet, have you?
I watched the last two last night.
Oh, there you go.
And what was I going to say? Gideon, that's his name, Gideon.
Yeah.
Darksaber dude.
Yeah.
I thought the Darksaber, did they steal that from?
They stole that
EU?
from yes. So it first made its appearance back in Star Wars Rebels, the cartoon series.
Oh, okay.
Where it was founded, and a girl named Sabine, who's a Mandalorian, has it.
Mm-hmm.
And she went back, and then Maul had it. It was a big old storyline in Rebels, but now they had the purge against the Mandalorians after that, during the Empire and the Rebellion War, and now Gideon has the black saber. So I'm sure it's going to end up in the Mandalorian's hand at some point. In fact, I wouldn't be like it goes back to what I said, and I could be wrong, but as of right now, it's totally set up for the Yodalorian and his lightsaber, and his lightsaber being the dark saber.
That armorer chick was pretty damn feisty.
Which one?
The one that wiped out that whole regiment of stormtroopers at the end when she gave Mando or Din Djarin his rocket pack.
Oh, dude! Okay, so I haven't watched a lot of videos on that, but she's gonna be a big reveal at some point.
I think so.
Who she is. Yeah. So again, you would probably have to go listen to some Rebels, to kind of get caught up on some of the Mandalorian characters that are in that. Mm-hmm. Which was Obi-Wan's love interest.
Okay.
At one point.
Wait. Oh, when he was at. When he was on Tatooine, and he did you ever read Kenobi?
Yeah, I read Kenobi. This would be
Okay,
a different one. This was different. So this love interest is you'll find in the Clone Wars.
Oh, okay.
So again, whether it's her, she'd be really, really old, but because the timeline's set where it's at, I'm kind of hoping it's actually Sabine.
That would be awesome. Yeah, when you said Sabine earlier, that's the first person I thought of for that chick.
Yeah. So probably not, but I think it's going to be a character that we've known from the Clone Wars or Rebels. That's going to be, she's either going to be connected to or is. It would make sense. She was badass, dude.
Yeah. So now I got some more characters to get. I gotta get Cara Dunn. I gotta get that assassin. I can't remember her name. And I'm just gonna call her Sabine. I don't know what else to call her. The Mandalorian armorer.
Right. That
like
really
the
cool
Star Wars
stuff.
chicks.
So all in all, your thoughts on 7
7
with Quill?
I didn't like the fact that they killed Quill.
You had to have an emotional peak in it somewhere, and they chose him.
Yeah.
They made him the peak. They made him the peak. It was sad, dude. I was like, no.
Yeah.
I have spoken. Like, it's gone, dude. Like,
yeah. And the fucking speeder bike. Not speeder bike, but the biker. The speeder bike biker was punching the fucking Yodelarian.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
Funny backstory behind that is I can't remember the actor's name. He's a well-known actor, and he wanted to be part of it, so they put him in that scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess when he punched it in the shoot, he punched it hard, and they had to tell him, "Hey, whoa, that puppet's $1 million, dude."
Oh wow!
Yeah. So that's how it was revealed that little Yoda puppet is like $1 million puppet, dude.
Damn.
It's crazy, right?
That is insane. That is insane. He is evil. I agree, Moose. Roger. See?
Roger.
See ya, I guess. Stenning says, just needed to hear that, Jason. Ty. Or thank you.
What happened?
I don't know. She was talking to you. Said, just needed to hear that, Jason. Thank you. But I don't know what she's talking about.
Who said that?
Standing.
Oh, okay.
Elaborate, Natasha. Oh, look who's here! Cool channel name. It's been a long time since I've seen you in here. How are you doing?
Who was it?
Cool channel name.
Who?
That's the name of the channel. Cool channel name.
Cool channel name? Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool channel name.
Yeah. Does anybody know why there's no toilet paper at the store? I'm guessing it's a joke.
Man, I wish I had my soundboard up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, Modus. Cool channel name is not a troll. I know this person from way back.
The
blind community. Well, I don't know if they're blind, but
there's no toilet paper because the stores got wiped out.
Yeah, right. Cleavage winning 2 circle parts. I'm okay. I like cleavage too. CY. What is CY? Am I missing that acronym for CYA? I'm thinking catch you later or see ya. He doesn't want his brand tarnished. He's got ties. CYA to do that. Huh. I feel like a big dum-dum.
Did you hear that one about the... Oh, yeah, you read it already. Never mind. I'm behind you again.
KFC is doing drive-through orders starting Monday. Understand, I guess.
So I'm ready to hire somebody with cleavage to go get me toilet paper. Just saying.
Yeah. I don't know if I would want to hire the person though, because that would be way too tempting. Like, wait a second, then all of a sudden it becomes workplace harassment, you know? So
yeah,
you just need a. Well, you got a wife anyway. You're good.
Yeah.
Standing says, cool channel. There's talk of shutting down non-essential businesses. ... There's only talks from those states. What?
I don't think I shared this yesterday, but I think I did, but my son's restaurant got shut down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's still there right now. I think he's there till Monday, like cleaning and organizing and stuff. And then he's unemployed till this blows over.
That's unfortunate. Howdy, Smiley. I'm messing when no disrespect. Life.
That makes sense that the only drive-throughs should be open.
Yeah. Hi, or hey, I can't hide them without a roll of duct tape. No offense taken at all. Oh, talking about her cleavage.
Right.
If the shelves get restocked, it's just a panic. If not, we have a massive issue. We have a massive issue regardless. The wheels have already started. The rock is already rolling down the hill.
Have you been able to pull up a live feed of what's happening in the world or even in California as far as cases?
Well, I was showing if you go to the World Health Organization's website, they've got a real-time map of cases being documented in real time.
Okay, because the last map I found on Apple News, I think California was at 340 with 5 deaths.
Sounds about right.
In the big picture of things, that's not a lot, but the idea is because the way things spread, that number could triple by...
Well, it'll be doubled in 2 days. I mean, 4 days, and then quadrupled in 8 days, and so forth.
And so on and so forth, yes. This is where your number to the second power comes into play.
Yep. Okay, caught up, finally. Anything else? You just want to wrap or what? When are you going live again on franchise?
So I haven't called them yet. I had to go through this whole mental process of how I exactly want to handle this, dude. And I think I read in there that standing like the Knight of the Shield, that was my favorite name. But the reason I had to move from it is because there's an actual Raider fan club that's licensed, an LLC, that's called Knights of the Shield. So that's what started that whole process, was from me to move away from that so I didn't be in the situation I'm in now. And I find myself in that situation anyway. How ironic. But right. I had initially went to Night Live, so for now I think it's going to go back to Night Live on Franchise Sports Media. I may work out a deal with them about just becoming officially Franchise Sports Media content, which I am, but like just embed the whole thing together. But I don't know. I'm kind of getting cold feet on that too, so I don't know.
Oh, thanks, Connie. CYA is cover your ass.
Yeah, of course. You didn't know that? I didn't hear that. I probably had it blocked out in my head because I was reading it too.
I was like, see ya later. See ya.
It's all about covering your own butt. That's why toilet paper's gone, I guess.
Yeah,
you know. Also, I was gonna say something else and I forgot. Oh, as far as when I'm going live on franchise,
dude, your elbow. Elbow.
My elbow's not touching nothing, bro.
Okay.
My trust me, my elbows are on the desk. Look.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking.
You got that? You see that?
Got it.
All right. I painted a perfect picture.
Okay, got it.
So you sniffed it, huh? You smell my elbows?
Yeah.
But earliest I'll go on a franchise would be tonight. But it all depends on updates. So tonight, I mean, today the only thing they announced was the actual salary cap for the NFL. But free agency, the tampering period technically starts tomorrow. So as information comes out, I have to report on it. So it'll be all week. I should be, doing a lot. But I also probably later on tonight, hopefully no news drops. I'm going to have to rebrand the channel somehow and take some stuff off. And
so how's it going to work? Because if you go live whenever there's a breaking story, what if someone's already going live, or is it just you going live on franchise, or was there somebody else?
Well, they actually haven't given me the information, so it's all right now with the way we're doing it is we're all funneling through the Will to Win. See, there it is. I got to get a habit of that. It's all going through my channel, and I'm just going to repost it to their channel. So all my stuff until they hook it up and they give me. So I was going to ask you that. Do you know? Can I go live to 2 YouTube channels at one time?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then they, as long as they give me the information, it's going to be on both anyway. It'll be on the channel that I've already built up, because the idea is to funnel both, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why one of my other ideas was to kind of just see what it would take if I called YouTube, or what steps I would have to take to convert my channel into franchise, if that makes sense. Because it's been embedded like that forever. I'm sure there's a way to do it.
Okay, you want to merge the two?
It might be a business move for me, maybe, right? I want to be very cautious on what I do moving forward, because you got to learn from your mistakes, or you're just an idiot. So I don't want to necessarily hand over that. It makes the most sense if I'm going to go all in, but at the same time, it's like, I could still be night live as long as now knowing for sure that I can go to live on both channels at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I may just go back to it being night live.
I just do that, honestly, until you really know what the motivation is
for it all. Right. So I got to convert it all. I'm going to have to wait till the beginning of the month, and hopefully everything still flows for me financially. Mm-hmm. Hope this doesn't affect me financially. So as long as the Corona doesn't affect me financially, I'll start the rebranding next month with logos and things like that.
Yeah.
Which I just spent money on to do for that brand, but it's all right. It's all right. It is what it is. Just money, right?
Yep.
I just don't want no more drama in my life, bro.
Too
peaceful of a person, man.
You're too nice.
I am. I'm too nice.
Too damn nice.
Depends on who you talk to.
I'm kind of the same way, I think.
Yeah. If I let you in, man, and then, we'll see. That's just the way it is with me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've noticed as I get older, it's a little harder to get in. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't trust people like I used to. It's a lifelong being screwed over all the time. Being used and whatnot. We have other examples already here in the community that we've talked about before.
Yeah.
It sucks. It just happens a lot.
Yeah. I always laugh when I hear that. Standing says, I'm in the Finger Lakes region, and my screamer is fast enough to where it sounds like Finger Lick.
Well, there was talk about KFC, so I would have took it.
That you're looking good.
Right?
Modus says, too damn nice. Not.
What happened?
Modus said, too damn nice. Not.
Right. Well, I know the average blind guy wouldn't say I'm nice.
I know. Yeah.
I think he's gone. I haven't heard from him in a while. Hopefully he follows it over here. I think he was here before, wasn't he?
What?
Wasn't the average blind guy here once before on Theory of a Blind Man?
Oh, he's been on and off the last several months.
Okay.
Maybe longer. I can't remember. It's so sparse, so sporadic that it's hard to put a...
I know. I just feel like I need to send him like a box of candy or something. Like, tell him I'm just messing around having fun.
Well, anything else we should go over? What do you think? Did I cover everything?
No, I mean, you're pretty straight to the point. Anybody wants the information can search it themselves, or maybe, depending on who it is, maybe you share it later, like to them, but not.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, I don't foresee any troubles coming, but I don't have to say anything to that.
Right. Just business as usual, man. Theory of a Blind Man back in the house.
Yes, sir.
Agree.
Florida. Alrighty. In that case, I guess we'll go ahead and get out of here for now until. Hey, so when are we going to be doing another Blind Jedi?
Well, we're going to schedule that out. You know, we're going to schedule that out. And one of the big delays was there was a couple of big delays. Number one, other curricular activity, whether it was on one side or my other side, right? So I got that. I got to work around with the launch of free agency. So if it doesn't happen this week, definitely next week. The other thing I was thinking about was like how to do it, right? Should I just start a Blind Jedi channel or not? I think I'm just going to pop it on Independently Blind, and it's just going to be the Blind Jedi show, right? So,
yeah, you can.
Or
as long as
I
it's
could
titled Blind Jedi all the time, then people will know. Like, hey,
it'll be the
if
Blind
you want to see
Jedi
Star Wars shit. Here it is.
Blind Jedi on Independently Blind.
Yeah.
Right. But that constricts us to a certain degree because how I have Independently Blind set up. That's why I've always thought about. I'll still think about it because I know I'm going to be busy this week with the free agency launch. So, we'll work it out. We'll obviously we're in touch all the time, so we'll figure it out.
Cool.
I got to start listening to that novel and record it for you too. So we'll get it going.
Listen to what?
The Rise of Skywalker novel.
Oh, did you get it?
I have the credits too. I just haven't downloaded it yet, but I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty, Jason. Thank you so
Cool.
much for coming on
Absolutely.
and making this little cut easier.
Yeah, no problem, man. To everybody in the chat, thank you. Standing, Modus, In Darkness, Natasha.
Cool channel name.
Cool channel name. Cool channel name, by the
Armando.
way. Armando was here.
Miss Frosty.
Frosty, if you're still around, frost it up, brother. I guess that's it. What's that?
Keep it
icy. Keep it icy, Frosty. So, cool, man. Much love to y'all.
You too, man. Take care.
All right, bro.
And you guys all in the chat know what time it is. We got our ending track going. Evil Wave. How appropriate.
Right?
How appropriate.